And moving into the last request of this session, we have something from Pete P on the Patreon crew. Thank you so much, Pete. Really appreciate you. We have Neil Young, Revolution Blues. Dude, we're about to jump on into this one. So this is from 1974. Let's do a little bit more research, dude. Check up the wiki. The album, On the Beach. This is the 5th studio album by Canadian-American musician Neil Young, released by Reprise Records in July 1974. The album is the second of the so-called Ditch trilogy of albums that Young recorded following the major success of 1972's Harvest, whereupon the scope of his success and acclaim became apparent. On the Beach was inspired by his feelings of retreat, alienation, and melancholy in response to this success. Ooh, okay, so, dude, we just listened to one of Neil Young's albums, dude, after the Gold Rush. Not sure, this is probably going to come out after that, so y'all probably have already seen that, but, dude, that album turned my head, dude, really made me notice Neil Young, dude. I love his voice now. It's so iconic, and it was just such a great journey. Like, after the Gold Rush, I couldn't even believe what I heard. So far ahead of his time. And so yeah, dude, On the Beach. A little bit of background on this track. Looking back on the album, or for the album, dude. Background info for the album. Looking back on the album for the liner notes to the Decade box set, Young wrote that the experience of releasing Harvest, which inspired the despairing themes of On the Beach, put me in the middle of the road. Traveling there soon became a bore. So I headed for the ditch. A rougher ride, but I saw more interesting people there. Dude, it's so good that Neil Young was like so self-aware that he was like, this success, it's gonna change me. I need to kind of go back to my roots, kind of do a start over on things. I can't get lost in the weeds of the success, dude. So much money. You got people coming at you for sponsorships, all this stuff. You probably got so many people trying to talk to you, dude. Also probably trying to treat you different, right? So you probably want to go back to basics. Being a human, you don't want to lose being a human, right? So recorded after Tonight's the Night, On the Beach shares some of that album's bleakness and crude production, which came as a shock to fans and critics alike, as this was the long-awaited studio follow-up to the commercially and critically successful Harvest, but also included hints pointing towards a more subtle outlook, particularly on the opening track, Walk On. Interesting. So people were like so excited. People were hyped up. People were like just probably camping out the night before, just waiting for this next Neil Young album, dude. People were so just anxious for it. While the original Rolling Stone review described it as one of the most despairing albums of the decade, later critics such as AllMusic's William Rollman used the benefit of hindsight to conclude that Young was saying goodbye to despair, not being overwhelmed by it. The despair of Tonight's the Night, communicated through intentional underproduction and lyrical pessimism, gives way to a more polished album that is still pessimistic, but to a lesser degree. All right, so people thought this album was too pessimistic. Dude, hindsight is a powerful tool, right? Dude, lots of people might hate stuff when it first comes around. The public not ready for it. Sometimes you gotta give it some time to cook socially, you know what I mean? Much like Tonight's the Night, On the Beach was not a commercial success at the time of its release, but over time has attained a high regard from fans and critics alike. The album was recorded in a haphazard manner, with Young utilizing a variety of session musicians and often changing their instruments while offering only bare-bones arrangements for them to follow. He would also opt for rough monitor mixes of songs rather than a more polished sound, alienating his sound engineers in the process. Dude, his engineers are probably like, please, Neil, let us clean this up. What do you... No, don't release it like this, dude. The mixing's terrible. Your bass is completely overwhelming the drums. I don't know specifics, but this is probably close, right? And then he's like, no. It must be released as it was recorded. I don't know exactly what he said, dude. I would love to be a fly on the wall during these interactions. The last paragraph for the background on the wiki. Throughout the recording of the album, Young and his colleagues consumed a homemade concoction dubbed honey slides, a goop of sautéed marijuana and honey that felt like heroin. Oh gosh, they're making really strong edibles, dude. They're making strong as hell edibles, calling it felt like heroin. Damn, dude. Honey slides, a goop of sautéed marijuana and honey, dude. Sounds awesome. At the behest of session musician and de facto producer Rusty Kershaw. This may account for the mellow mood of the album, particularly the second half of the LP. Young has said of it, good album. One side of it particularly, the side with Ambulance Blues, Motion Pictures, and On the Beach. It's out there. It's a great take. Holy wow, dude. Okay, well, let me know any further information you have about this album. I love how much history is on this one. So yeah, we're just going to jump on into this track. Dude. On the Beach, we have Revolution Blues. So thank you again, Pete P. Really appreciate you. Dude, I'm enjoying the crap out of this song. I love the really loud guitar, dude. That guitar sounds great. I love how bright and shiny it sounds. I love his vocal presentation here. It sounds a little bit like, you know, Bob Dylan. No, I'm just really enjoying it. It's kind of like shout talk singing. And his high voice is being a little different here, but it's still very soft, very mellow, but it's still, you can hear some of the, I don't know what to call it. I want to call it political anger. I don't know. It feels like a Bob Dylan track just with the vocal presentation, but let's just hear the rest of the track, dude. Back it up. Revolution Blues. Dude, how about that bass though? And they lead off, or they trail off with a guitar solo just getting started, dude. That was Revolution Blues by Neil Young, dude. Wow. Fantastic song. Yeah, the bass really stood out to me. Honestly, I like the rough mix. It's nice. It just kind of feels like an older track, maybe, from like the early 70s. And dude, this album, it's 74, right? But it sounds maybe like 71, dude. What do you think? Uh, so let's check out the personnel for this one. Who do we have to thank? Yeah, of course, Neil Young was on this track. Apparently, Ben Keith played electric piano on Revolution Blues. David Crosby played rhythm guitar on Revolution Blues as well. Rick Danko, bass on Revolution Blues. Thank you, Rick Danko. Sick riffs. You're doing your own thing at the end. Really like it, dude. And then we have Levin Helm, who did drums on Revolution Blues. So, shout out to y'all. This was great. Honestly, I did get a little bit of the sense of frustration, political frustration, dude. So let's check out these lyrics, see exactly what he's saying. Well, we live in a trailer at the edge of town. You never see us because we don't come around. We got 25 rifles just to keep the population down. But we need you now, and that's why I'm hanging around. So you be good to me, and I'll be good to you. And in this land of conditions, I'm not above suspicion. I won't attack you, but I won't back you. Okay, so I feel like this first verse is maybe a symbolic kind of statement, dude. It's not really like maybe Neil's thoughts. I don't know, dude. We live in a trailer at the edge of town. You never see us because we don't come around. Symbolic for just, I don't even know, dude. America? No. We got 25 rifles just to keep the population down, but we need you now, and that's why I'm hanging around. So you be good to me, and I'll be good to you, and in this land of conditions, I'm not above suspicion. I won't attack you, but I won't back you. Let's just move on to verse 2. Maybe it'll become clearer as we go along. Well, it's so good to be here asleep on your lawn. Remember your guard dog? Well, I'm afraid that he's gone. It was such a drag to hear him whining all night. Yes, that was me with the doves, setting him free near the factory. This person kill the dog, dude? The guard dog? What? Where you build your computer love. I hope you get the connection, cause I can't take the rejection. Dude, is this the right song that I'm singing? What the heck am I reading, dude? I won't deceive you. I just don't believe you. Verse 3, well, I'm a barrel of laughs with my carbine on. I keep 'em hoppin' till my ammunition's gone, but I'm still not happy. I feel like there's something wrong. I got the revolution blues. I see bloody fountains and 10 million dune buggies coming down the mountains. Well, I hear that Laurel Canyon is full of famous stars, but I hate them worse than lepers, and I'll kill them in their cars. What did I just read? Dude, what are these lyrics? What are you talking about? I thought this was some real stuff. It seems like you're in a dream. And you're not being very clear about what your dream is saying, dude. Let's go to the About section on Genius. See if there's... dude, this song is a harrowing, spooky comment on the murders committed by crazed hippie Charles Manson and his cult of followers in 1969. The song features Rick Danko and Levin Helm of the band playing bass and drums, respectively, dude. Ah, part of the famous group, huh? The session musicians. All right. I had no clue. I could not even guess in a million years. If I did not read that description on Genius, I would have no clue this is about. This has anything to do with the Charles Manson murders, dude. But reading back on this, maybe it's from their point of view, dude, the Mansons. Okay, yeah, it seems like these lyrics are point of view from Charles Manson. I don't know, dude. Probably, right? Either from his point of view or some one of the cult members' point of view. Okay. I did not think this was about that at all. So, I was completely wrong on the vibes. Holy crap. Uh okay, so, I feel like this was a certain event, right? This was one of the starting points of people starting to be like, oh, hippies not all that great, right? The peace, love, unity movement is not all that great if maybe some people are doing this stuff, right? Well, and it's a shame. I remember somebody maybe mentioned that music started getting darker uh, in general, starting around this time, dude. Maybe Neil Young was just kind of following the trend, or maybe he was even ahead of the trend, He was just actually feeling that the blues, dude, of, you know, a movement that lots of people probably had faith in. Like, finally, we're starting to spread world peace. We're starting to actually work on this. Like, I bet people thought this was a real, powerful movement that was happening, and it was, right? But I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's hard to put a it's hard to talk about, dude. I just don't have the tools. I wasn't alive. I don't really know exactly how people feel about it. All I can talk on is my experience. And honestly, I am not a fan of just kind of wishing for peace to happen, Like, all I imagine when I think of the peace, love, the love movement, whatever it was called, right? Summer of Love, that whole thing. Like, it's cool and all to want it, but you got to work for it, right? You got to do actions. It's kind of like thoughts and prayers, right? But I digress, dude. Let me know your thoughts on this song, the cultures around it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how this song affected you, how the turning of the decade affected everyone, dude. Let me know your thoughts. We'll get into more Neil Young as time goes on. So, thank you again, Pete, for taking us here. Really appreciate you. I'm a big fan of Neil Young now. Honestly, no matter what you throw in front of me, if it's Neil Young, has his name part of it, I'm going to listen to it now. I just love where his mind is at. He's very self-aware. He's a very, smart, intellectual individual. Can't wait to see where it goes, dude, where he takes us. So thank you all to the fabulous session musicians that make this possible, dude. Neil Young, shout out to you. Shout out to the Patreon crew that also makes all of this possible. Dude, what you see on the channel is all because of the Patreon crew, dude. Most of the support comes from them. So, going over to patreon.com/JohnSlop if you want to help. If you feel like it, dude. Think about that. Make sure to leave a like, dude. And a subscribe. That's probably the least you could do. If you really like this content, please make sure to leave a like and a subscribe. Hit that post notification bell as well. And I will just talk to y'all in the next session, guys. So, thank you all again. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll just talk to y'all in the next one. Peace. Going over to twitch.tv/JohnSlopReacts and leave a follow if you want to catch all these live streams where we record these reactions. And going over to patreon.com/JohnSlop to submit your favorite songs for me to listen to. And you can help support the channel as well. Appreciate ya.